Welcome back to my channel IMDb 8 Recap. Today I'm going to explain an American action-adventure film movie, National Treasure, released in the year 2004. The movie is about a man whose family has been researchers or more like treasure hunters for generations. The movie shows the journey of this man when he finds a hidden map and discovers the largest wealth to have ever been discovered by mankind. But before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and beware of the spoilers. The movie opens in Washington, D.C. in 1974 when a young boy named Benjamin Franklin Gates, also known as Ben, is seen trying to open a box secretly, but is caught by his grandfather, who narrates him a story about his grandfather's grandfather named Thomas Gates, who was handed over few very important clues by a person named Charles Carroll, who was the last member of the bench signing the Declaration of Independence of United States. Grandpa then shows the clue that was given to Thomas Gates and was still safe with him. It had "The secret lies in Charlotte" written on it, and then Ben's father Patrick arrives there, and states that their whole family is mocked due to this treasure theory that has been going around. The movie then switches to the present in the North Arctic region, where we see young Ben with Riley and his friend named Ian. They were looking for a ship that was buried under the ice in the Arctic region, and its name was Charlotte. Ben succeeds in finding the ship, and Ian says that he had believed in him and that is why he has invested money in his treasure expedition. Ben thanks him and states that had he not believed in him, he would have given up on this treasure hunt long back. They enter the ship and do not find the treasure inside it, but Ben finds a meerschaum pipe that is having a riddle in it which seems to be their next clue to finding the treasure. Ben solves the riddle and concludes that a map is imprinted on the back of the Declaration of Independence document and gets disappointed that government will never allow running tests on that since it happens to be one of the most important documents in American history, but Ian suggests stealing it. Ben opposes the idea and tells Ian that it would be unethical to steal such an important document. Ian keeps insisting on stealing it, but Ben denies it, and Ian considers him a hindrance and orders Shaw to kill Ben and Riley. Ben manages to distract Ian and Shaw by throwing a flare at them as they are standing on the gunpowder, but Ian catches the flare before it could have reached the gunpowder. The flare catches fire from the gunpowder on Ian's hand, and he escapes with Shaw while locking Riley and Ben into the Charlotte that was going to be destroyed. Ian and Shaw escape from there while Ben takes Riley to a safety chamber, and they survive the blast. In the following scene, Riley and Ben go to the FBI headquarters to caution them about the Declaration of Independence document that it is going to be stolen, but no one believes them because it is one of the most highly secured and protected document. Riley and Ben then visit the National Archives office where they meet a girl named Abigail Chase, and present themselves as Bill and Brown. Ben looks at Abigail's collection of Washington's conference buttons that was missing one piece in it. After that, Ben tries to convince her about the theft of the document and tells her the story of the treasure and the map imprinted on the back of the document. She does not believe him, and eventually, they have to leave her office. Ben goes outside Abigail's office and decides to steal the document himself to keep it safe from Ian and his men. Riley tries to make him understand that it is impossible to steal the Declaration of Independence and discloses the security that is in place to protect the document. Ben informs Riley about his plan that there is a specific time when all the documents are taken with minimum security for it to get cleaned and states that there is a party on that day inside building. Ben's plan was to steal the Declaration of Independence when everyone will be busy with VIPs at the party. Riley likes the idea, and they start working on it. Riley gets the control of the cameras to the room where documents are brought to clean while Ben sends Abigail that was the missing piece from her collection. Ben enters the building as a janitor, and after entering the building he changes his clothes and goes to the VIP's side where he meets Abigail and takes her glass of wine to get her fingerprints. Ben leaves Abigail and gets her fingerprints to enter the room where the document were kept for cleaning. Ben gets the Declaration of Independence and is about to leave when Ian and his men arrive there and start shooting at him. Ben manages to run from there with the help of the lift, and a woman notices him and thinks that he is stealing a souvenir copy of the Declaration of Independence and asks him to pay for that. Ben was about to escape the building when Abigail follows him and suspects him of stealing the Declaration of Independence. Ian looks at them, and then everyone comes to know that the Declaration of Independence has been stolen. Ben gets rid of Abigail by giving her a fake Declaration of Independence, and just as she was about to go back to the building, Ian and his men capture her and flee from there by shooting at Riley and Ben. Ben asks Riley to track Ian's truck and manages to save Abigail from Ian. Ian gets the fake Declaration of Independence that Abigail was holding. In the next scene, we see an FBI officer named Sadusky in the building who warns everyone to cooperate with them and comes to know about Ben Gates as being the tipster when an officer informs him that Ben warned them about this theft a few days back. Abigail keeps irritating Ben with her questions, and it was only then that she comes to know that Ben is a member of the famous Gates family, a family which has a long and famous history of treasure hunters, and calls him insane. After a while, Ben is seen contemplating as to what they are going to do next and hands over the Declaration of Independence to Abigail, who tries to run away but is soon caught by Ben. They realize that they are being chased by a lot of people. They were in van when Ben says that he wants the letters of silence do good. On the other side, Ian also manages to find out that he needs the same letter. Police reach Ben's house and start checking everything. Ben, Riley, and Abigail arrive at the house of Patrick Gates, who was Ben's father, and they manage to get the next clue at Patrick's house with the help of air blower and lemon, which make the invisible text at the back of the Declaration of Independence perceptible. Ben asks Patrick about the letters of silence do good, and he answers that he has donated the letters to an institute in Philadelphia. Ben decides to go there, but Patrick alerts him that the treasure is just a myth that was used to keep the British busy in discovering the treasure. Soon the police arrive at Patrick's house and find him tied to the chair. He informs the police that he does not know anything about Ben and his whereabouts. Ben takes his father's car and suggests changing clothes on his way to Philadelphia. Riley hires a boy who provides him the text from the letters in return for the money, while Ian also reaches there with his men and notices the boy, wondering what he was doing. Ian follows the boy, but Riley had already left. Riley reaches the place where Ben and Abigail were present and provides them with the code from Silence's letters. Ben and Abigail decrypt the code and think that they are late to reach there and observe what the code tells them. Riley informs them about the concept of daylight saving and they rush towards the tower behind the Liberty Bell. At the same time, Ian gets the information from the boy and comes to know where Ben is going next. Ben, Riley, and Abigail reach the tower and look at the shadow that was pointing to a brick. Ben asks Riley and Abigail to leave the tower while he goes and finds the clue. Ben goes to the bridge and finds a special spectacle inside it. On the other hand, Ian also reaches there and realizes that it was the tower, not the Liberty Bell where Ben would have come, and when he reached there, Ben seems to have already left that place. Ben meets up with Riley and Abigail and uses the lens to see what is behind the Declaration of Independence. Ben finds a text written on the back and then he notices Ian's men arriving. Ben asks Riley and Abigail to go in another direction because he did not want to hand over the Declaration of Independence and the spectacle together to Ian. They keep running from Ian's men, and Ben escapes by handing over an empty box to the man while Ian catches Abigail and Riley and takes the Declaration of Independence from them. Riley calls Ben and reports that they have lost the Declaration of Independence. Ben gets furious but invites them to meet him near the car. When Ben reaches the car, Sadusky appears there and Ben is arrested while Riley and Abigail roll away after looking at Ben. Sadusky tells Ben that he is going to jail for a really long time and asks him to help them find the Declaration of Independence. Ben tells him that he does not want to go to jail and acknowledges that he has not completely read the clues when he looks at Sadusky changing the mirror of the spectacle they found. Ian calls Ben and Sadusky gives him the phone to listen to what Ian says. Ian invites Ben to meet him and promises to give the declaration after his work is done. The scene changes, and Ben is seen at the location where Ian has called him, and Sadusky's men were also present to keep an eye on him. A helicopter arrives there that draws the attention of Sadusky and his men, while one of Ian's men interrupts the signals of the mic to Sadusky when Ben was speaking to Ian's man, who comes there and asks him to jump into the water. Ben goes near the edge and notifies Sadusky that he has gotten a better option before jumping into the water and is saved by Ian's men. Ben asks them about Abigail and Riley and they state that Abigail has done this all, and after a while, Ben receives a call from Abigail and explains to him that she has made a plan to get him out of the jail, but she says that she has vowed to Ian that he will get the treasure. Ben reaches where Ian was waiting for him, and he gives him wrong information about what the clues say and tries to be over smart. Ian shows him his father, who is bound in the car, and orders him to lead as per the clues they have found so far. Ben states that they will have to go to Trinity Church while Ian asks him to call Abigail and Riley because he was aware of them. They reach Trinity Church where Ben and Ian find the next clue and start to search for it because it seems to be inside the church. Riley finds a grave with the same name that the clue is suggested, and they find a route behind that grave. Ian asks his two men to wait for him there while he goes inside with Riley, Ben, Patrick, and Abigail. They reach a place where there were wooden ladders and lifts leading to the place where the treasure was expected. The wooden ladders break, and one of Ian's men dies due to slipping. They face a very dangerous situation but manage to reach safely to the destination, which supposedly had all the gold they have been waiting to find. When they searched the place, they found out that the gold was gone. Ian and Riley ask to find any other clue, but Ben says that there are no other clues. Ian then decides to leave them there, but then Ben's father gives him another clue, and Ben says that he will have to go to Boston to find the gold. After Ian leaves, Ben and his father disclose that they have provided a fake clue to Ian, but then Ben opens a door, and again the treasure was not present at that place. He gets disappointed, but his father motivates him and states that he has managed to reach here with the help of his intelligence and should not give up now. Ben then finds another door and opens it with the aid of the meerschaum pipe, and when they enter the room, they find it full of treasure and are seen shocked after looking at the mere volume of it. After that, Ben calls Sadusky and hands over the Declaration of Independence to him and demands recognition of his family for finding the gold. He also requested things for Riley and Abigail while demanding freedom from jail for himself in return for the treasure. Sadusky suggests that someone will have to go to jail, and Ben suggests that he can help him with this. In the following scene, Ian is captured from Boston with his men. The movie switches, and we see Ben with Abigail and Riley, all together. Riley states that Ben should have accepted what the government was offering him and leaves after sitting in his car, and the movie ends here. Overall, National Treasure is a great movie to watch with an amazing storyline, so make sure to check it out. To watch many more exciting recaps like this, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Let us know in the comments section about the next favorite movie that you would like us to recap. Thanks again for watching and stay safe and healthy.